Hello everyone. I hope you guys are doing good. My name is Shailza and I'm here to help all the international students out there coming from India to Canada and want to know more about the Canadian workplace environment. So in this presentation, I will be covering three major aspects of workplace environment here in Canada, that is professionalism, etiquette and ethical behavior. I'm sure you guys might be thinking like these are very basic aspects, right? But after this presentation, you will know the difference between Indian workplace environment and Canadian workplace environment, and it will help you guys to adapt to the Canadian workplace environment. So let's start with the presentation. In this presentation, we are going to cover professional behavior, business etiquette, ethical behavior, how to be ethical, respectful workplaces, make workplace respectful, and the final remarks. So, let's dive into it. So, we will begin with the very first aspect, which is professionalism. Now, what is professionalism? Professionalism basically involves how you behave at work, how you interact with your co-workers, and how you deal with the stress, right? In a professional manner. So there are few aspects of professional behavior that are like valued in the Canadian business environment and are ignored in the Indian business environment. We will discuss about it later, but let's talk about the aspects that are valued. The number one is civility. It basically involves behaving respectfully towards everyone you interact with, okay, and also acknowledging their existence. The number two is social intelligence. It means how you get along with the individual when you are in a conversation. So it basically includes when and what to talk about, and when to stop and when to speak, because these are very important yet very small things that needs to be addressed. And also talking about the emotional intelligence, it basically means able to read the other person's social situations, their feelings, their emotions, and also the person who has higher or stronger emotional intelligence will know like what their message will have an impact on the other person, and like they will know how to adjust their message so the other person won't get offended, or like the message come across like rude to them, so they will know. So this kind of aspect comes under the emotional intelligence. The number fourth one is social grace. It basically involves this subtle behavior that makes you more respectful to the other person, which basically includes saying please more often, smiling more often, saying thank you more often, right? So I'll tell you one thing, in Canada, so people usually say please, sorry, and thank you very much. It might get a little, you might get little awkward with this kind of situation, but you will get used to it because it shows how respectful and kind you are as a person, right? Now, the last one is the business etiquette. It basically measures how you interact with your co-workers, your upper management level people, and also with the customers that you are interacting with. Okay, so that will this business etiquette basically includes respecting people's time, be always punctual, and also adhering to the rules and regulation of the organization, following the dress code, and basically overall being a professional individual. Now we will compare it with the Indian style, Indian business environment. So the what I feel is in Indian business environment, it's basically straightforward. Things come across as very straight. What we need, we just address it. But in like Canada, we'll have to think about the people, we'll have to care about the people, we'll have to be kind towards them and know what might come across as rude or offensive to the people. So we'll have to take care of a lot of things which will ultimately grow us as an individual. Yeah. Now, let's talk about the business etiquette, which are basically the set of guidelines which determine how you interact with your co-workers, with the upper level management, with your customer, and all the people who are related to your organization. So there are few aspects that needs to be taken care of when you are working in a Canadian business environment. So these are personal space. You should always be able to respect the other person's personal space because it's a matter of privacy and respect. Like in India, we used to get involved into the other person's space, but here you can't afford to do that because it's a matter of privacy. Second of all, dress code. You'll always have to follow the dress code, whatever it is. It's basically the formal business attire that most of the organization use, so you'll have to follow that because it's a part of a business etiquette. Third is time management. Canada is very crucial about the punctuality and the time management, so you'll always have to manage your time accordingly, because I know that people who are coming from India are mostly like the workplace in India are pretty flexible, but here you'll have to be punctual about it. Fourth point is email. You'll always have to keep a track of the mails that you are receiving. You'll have to reply like responsibly, because here the only form one of the most formal communication happens through email. So you'll have to keep in mind of that point. The other point is greetings. Whenever you meet someone, it's very important that you always greet. You can't just ignore it, is considered as one of the most rude behavior. So whenever you meet someone, give them a smile and or say hi, hello, or how are you doing, good morning, good evening, whatever it is, but always greet the person you are interacting with. The last one is accept criticism. I know it's hard to accept the criticism, but trust me, always take criticism as a part of growing process. If you will take a criticism as a part of your growing process, then you will learn a lot in your life. You will able to accept things which you don't know, but you can improve it. So it opens the opportunity of improving. So that's how business etiquette in Canada works. I hope you might have understood the business etiquette part. Okay, so now coming to the ethical behavior, it actually concerns with the moral principles that a organization hold, which determines what is right and what is wrong behavior in an organization. So basically, there are four types of unethical behavior. Number one is manipulation. So it is like an employee is trying to give a false information about the co-worker so that they can get a promotion instead of their co-worker. Okay, so it's a example of manipulation. Second one is deception. It is like telling lie or giving the partial truth about something that you might not have done. So for example, adding an additional work experience in your resume so that you get an interview call. Number third is coercion. So coercion is like showing a power to someone so that they do something that they are not actually willing to do. For example, a boss is trying to threaten their employee so that they work overtime without an additional pay, and also if they don't do that they will fire them. So it is like using their power. Boss is literally trying to use their power to threaten the person so that they do something that they are not willing to do. Number fourth is bribery. So bribery actually concerns with the with exchanging with some kind of monetary value so that the work gets done. For example, an employee gives money to their supervisor so that they can get promoted. So it is like exchanging the money so that their work can be done. So it is also a part of unethical behavior. So we'll have to keep in mind that we don't indulge into unethical behavior because it will be literally very, it can get very serious in Canadian business environment, and these things are very critically analyzed in the Canadian business environment. Okay, So now I'll be summarizing some ways so that you can be ethical in the workplace and do the right thing as per the organization. So number one is always avoid lies. Never try to never speak lies, because trust me, like honesty is going to be appreciated anywhere you go. So number one is that. Also second point is avoid conflict of interest. Third one is respect the privacy and confidentiality of the organization. Avoid criticizing competitor. Instead focus on your work, on your product, so that you can improve in it. And also I believe that when you criticize a competitor, you give a false or negative vibe to the about your own company. So we should always avoid that thing. Last one is follow proper procedures. So you should always try to follow rules and procedures so that you can stay on the path of ethical. So always try to follow the rules, regulations. You will always be safe to go. So that's all with the ethical part. Thank you. Talking about the respectful workplaces, it is one of the most important aspects that needs to be critically evaluated, as every individual has the right to work in a respectful, and they have to feel safe wherever they are working. So it has to be like the top priority. So there are some issues like harassment, violence and discrimination that are like talked about very openly, which is a very good thing, because it is something that needs a stand, so that things like this can be avoided and everyone can live in a cordial environment. So, talking about the harassment and violence, it is any kind of digital, sexual, psychological, physical, or any kind of actions that can cause offense, humiliation, or harm to any individual, which needs to be really, really avoided, because nobody wants to be in a place where they can't work peacefully and have mental stress. So it's a right for a human to feel safe and comfortable in the environment they're working in. Discrimination concerns with the unfair treatment of a person or a group, or in context of their gender, their race, their sex, their ethnic religion, etc. So this is something which I believe is unfair, because a person has more than these type of things, right? They are more capable in terms of their skills, their advancing personality and everything, which needs to be like recognized more than these kind of aspects, right? So it is necessary that everyone feels respectful of what they do, their work, and their achievements. So, how can we make a workplace more respectful? I believe that every employee should take their own responsibility in terms of educating themselves about the harassment and discrimination policies that are existing in the economy. They, in case in any situation like this occurs in their life or in any co-worker's life, they should know how they can seek for the guidance and how they can report such situations. And also organizations should conduct training session to the employees, so that they can be more aware about their unintentional actions which can lead them into trouble, and also familiarizing them with the laws so that they know the things better and avoid such kind of situations which might get them into trouble. So, I hope from this presentation you might have got some ideas about the Canadian workplace environment in terms of professionalism, ethical behavior, etiquette, and respectful workplaces. And I'm sure it's going to help you in smooth transitioning from Indian workplace environment, as it promotes cordial and coordinational relationship between employees and the organization. Thank you for watching this presentation till here. I hope you might have gained some knowledge through this presentation about the Canadian workplace environment, and I'm so excited for you guys to experience it and grow as an individual. All the best for your future. I hope to see you soon. Bye.